A big hello to you, Richard Jones here from Britain's Got Talent. I was the winner in 2016 and I'm very excited because right now, in just a second, I'm going to be passing on some of my secrets to you with this brand new Richard Jones magic set. Now, I spent a lot of time figuring out what tricks I could include in this box that would be super quick to learn but super powerful, and it would allow you to go out there and within the space of about 5 or 10 minutes of practicing, you would be able to amaze your friends and family. And that is what you now have here. So if we open up this box, inside you're going to see a number of tricks. So if we open this up, we are going to start just one piece of magic at a time. So I need you now to pull out just this card box here. Pull out this and put everything else away, put it to the side, because we're going to start today with this device here. Now this is one of my favorite pieces of magic and it's super quick to learn. In a minute you're going to be able to do something super impossible. So basically what you get here, once you've taken it out, this little case is to keep your card box from getting all completely crumpled up and destroyed. But it also has something very cool that you can do with it. So for example, once you've finished doing your magic trick, you could show everyone the pack of cards, and once you finish, you put your card back in there. When you put these cards back inside your plastic sleeve to make sure that they stay nice and safe without getting bent or anything like that, you can do one final thing. You can say the magic word abracadabra alakazam, and you can cause all of those cards, the entire pack, to completely vanish just like that.
Oh my God!
Now that there was a real quick trick, an example of what you can do with this magic device. Now chances are at this point in time you've probably already opened this, you've probably already had a look, but just in case you hadn't, I'm now going to reveal the secret. It's very disappointing when you know how the secret works, but what you need to remember is how you felt the first time you saw this pack of cards disappear, because that's the experience that everyone else is going to get when you perform for them. They're not going to get the disappointing experience of knowing how it's done because you're not going to tell them how it's done. Now, the secret behind the disappearing card box is if I put my finger here and I push upwards, you'll see that there is a secret trap door, and it turns out that actually the pack of cards was still in there, but it's not a real pack of cards. This here, ladies and gentlemen, is a shell of a pack of cards. On the inside, obviously, it is made to look exactly like the inside of this card case here. And on the outside, it's been made to look like a real pack of cards. Now, what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to hold the cards this direction in your hand, and to everyone watching, they believe, okay, this is a real pack of cards. I can see it's a pack of cards. But then the moment you want to make them disappear, as you place the cards in, front ways in first. Always remember, put this front ways in first. When you place this inside the box, just make sure that it goes completely in. As you're pushing this in, this is what's happening. It's going just like this. It's sliding up, and that top bit is being hidden at the top here, and everything else looks like it's disappeared. Now, you don't want to ever hand this out, because if you hand this out, people might play around with it and they might realise that there's that trapdoor. But once you've made the cards disappear at this point, you've got a few different things you can do. You could reach inside your pocket and pull out a real pack of cards and say, look, it teleported into my pocket. Then the only thing that they would want to touch at that point is they'll want to check out the pack of cards, because that's now the suspicious object that they want to look at. This is just a bit of plastic. So I hope you like that trick. There's a few things you have to remember. Always start with the card box inside with this front here. That's when you know you're ready to perform the trick. What I would recommend is maybe get a matching pack of cards. This is a bicycle back design. The reason we got these ones designed is we wanted to make sure it matches a popular real pack of cards. Now, these are quite popular. You get these in Costco and lots of other places. Bicycle cards. If you type in bicycle cards into Amazon or eBay, you'll find these. Or drop me an email, because by the time you're watching this, I'll probably sell this pack of cards to match anyway, in case you want them, because they're really good ones. They're poker playing cards. They're the ones you want. So you could start by performing a trick with that pack of cards, put the pack of cards back inside the box, put it in your pocket. As you put it in your pocket, maybe bring this one out. And while they're not looking, make sure you've got it in your hand. So you're going to switch it so that you've now got this sneaky pack of cards here. You get the card case, place it on, say I want to finish with a really powerful piece of magic. Place this inside here, abracadabra, no more card tricks tonight because the cards have disappeared. It's the basic idea of what you can do with it, but play around with it, mess around, try out new things and let me know how you get on. One final thing that I forgot to mention is this obviously opens up. These cards here are obviously not real. This is just pretend. There's little lines on there to make it look like real cards, but you do get inside there a real card. So inside there, look, we have one real card. Now the beauty of this is it means what you can do is you can put a real card back inside the box, and this gives the illusion that this box is a normal pack of cards. So you can do that before you then put it inside here, before you make it disappear. Now something that might be nice to do is you get a real pack of cards, you get someone to choose one. When they take it out, you give them a pen and ask them to write their name on the card, on this side here. Now while they're doing that, put the cards back in the card box, secretly put those cards back in your pocket and pull out this sneaky pack. Now, once they've written their name on the card, they give you the card back. Imagine this is now their card. You then place their card in the box and you say, I'm going to try and make your card completely vanish from the pack of cards. They'll say, no, that's impossible. You say, watch closely, I'll make it vanish. First of all, I cover it over with the card box, the card case. Abracadabra. I told you I'd make your card disappear. I've accidentally made the entire deck vanish. They'll love it. Powerful trick. Let me know how you get on. Here is a fantastic Instagram or social media trick. I have here a little dice. Put the lid on. Watch closely. A little shake. They will turn into tiny little dice. There we have it. A fantastic social media trick. Now, for this one, it's very, very easy. The secret behind this one is not only do you have these little dice, but you've probably already noticed you also have this giant dice. Now, the clever thing about this is at the top of this dice, just here, we have a magnet, and we have a magnet in the lid, which means when they connect, it stays attached to the lid. So this one is a very, very simple, quick trick, but it's a great one for any quick social media magic slots you're doing. Let me just put all of these in here. You just put all of the little dice in nice and neat so that they're all nice and neatly packaged inside there. You turn this upside down, you push it to the bottom, turn it upside down so that it's ready to rock, and then you're ready to do the trick. All you need to remember is once you've shaken these, the black dice will end up being hidden at the top there. So don't hand out the lid afterwards and try not to hold it upside down, because people might notice just hidden away in the bottom that there is still a dice there. But this one is a nice, quick, fantastic trick for social media. And the other cool thing you can do is, instead of having these little dice appear at the bottom, be creative. Maybe put some little Skittles or any sort of little sweets down in the bottom, and it will mean that you can turn the dice into sweets, which will also be fun. Then you can pour them out on the table and people can eat them. Enjoy that trick. If you do put this one on social media and you do that trick, make sure you tag me in it, because I'd love to see you performing this. And also, if you do that, I will give some people some special prizes if they tag me in some of these videos. Okay, grab your box. Let's open it up. Let's see what else we've got inside here today. So next, I want you to pull out this little bag here. This is another fun one. And I remember using this exact trick when I first started getting into magic when I was probably about 6 or 7. I remember my mum and my dad bought me this trick, and it was the first time I'd probably learnt a trick so quickly, and I really loved it. So I'm gonna show you this right now. You might have these colours, 2 silks, blue and a yellow, or you might have 2 different colours. Either way, it doesn't matter, because with a little bit of magic, you can change the colours just like that to green and red. Now this is pretty simple, and I'm pretty sure if you've already opened this up, you already know how it works. But essentially, the secret behind the changing colour silks is this bit here. Now this bit here is the sneaky part. What you have here is a little tube here and a different colour. And as you pull this down, very, very simple when you see how it's done. It just overlaps the other one, and then the colours that I just held up are now hidden underneath this silk here. Now this is a really easy to learn trick, but it's very important that you perform it in the right way. Always keep this sneaky part hidden. Now what you need to do is you need to pull this out and tell people, look, what colour is this silk handkerchief? They'll say blue and yellow, and then you can tell them, what if I could hypnotise you to make you think that it wasn't blue and yellow? I'll count to 3. When I get to 3, you'll be hypnotised, and you'll really believe that it's no longer blue and yellow. 1, 2, 3. What colour is it? Is it still blue and yellow? At that point, they know you haven't really hypnotised them. But it's just an idea of how you can present this, the changing coloured silks. Obviously, always make sure this is hidden. All you need to do is as you go up with your spare hand, you just cover that sneaky section there. You grab it, but obviously keep your hand this way. Pull all the way up with the other hand, and it will just change around like that. And there you have another trick to your arsenal.
How do you do that?
Magic.
Next, from your magic box, I want you to get out my favourite magic trick, and it is this normal looking pen. Grab out that pen and get ready. Before you open it though, I want to show you what the trick is first, and then I'll show you how it works. So, it's pretty much a normal pen. I'll just take the cap off there. You can write with this pen. It's absolutely fine to write with. Let me show you. And that is also part of the deception of this trick. You could borrow a pen. You could ask someone, write down the name of something that you draw a picture maybe. So they draw a picture. Let's just do this. They draw a house like this with this pen. Okay, so they draw a house. Oh, can you see that? So that is my terrible drawing of a house. All right, okay. Now imagine you've just asked someone to draw that for you. So they've just drawn that. At which point you can ask them to tear it off. They tear it off. Imagine they've just put a lot of thought and effort into this lovely drawing, and they've just drawn it with this pen. Now here's the interesting bit, where you say, okay, I like your drawing, but would you feel a little bit upset if I stab the pen all the way through your lovely picture that you just drew? I do apologise, but don't worry, I'm going to tear it, but then heal it. Just like that. Torn through the paper, but the paper doesn't rip. Now this here is a classic of magic. This is like a rite of passage. Every magician in the magic world has at some point used one of these. Now this is an amazing pen which will allow you to make it look like the secret is in the paper. So it looks like you tear a bit of paper, but in reality the secret is all in the pen. Something that I used to do a lot when I first started magic with the old paper money is I used to do it with cash. It still works with plastic. You just need to make it look a little bit, take a little bit more time to really make sure you've stabbed through it, like this for example. Now, so this here is a £20 note. Now obviously they're plastic nowadays, but something you could do is stamp through these £20 notes, and you say there's new magical ink in the new 20s, which allows you, it doesn't matter how much you tear it around, the magical ink just heals and seals that tear all along. Even if you give it a big tear like that, it naturally heals. And at which point you give them the money. Well, hopefully it's theirs, it's not like a gift, but you give them the cash, you give them the pen, they can check the pen and the cash. Now the reason they can check the pen and the cash is because this is a real pen. It's a real pen that you can write with, works just like a real pen, and it is a real pen. But if you've already looked inside it, you'll already know that there's a secret extra part, which is this. Now this little secret extra part is the end of a pen, and it's got a magnet. Now there's also a magnet in the end of the pen here. And that is your secret. Now here's the deal. There's a very important way you have to present this. You have to be very careful to make sure that the audience never see that there's two ends to the pen, because if they see that, they know something's very suspicious about that pen. So you always want to make sure there's always at least one side of the pen covered like this. I would like to start, for example, I might, if I'm going to do this with a banknote, I might give someone a pen like this and say, look, check out the pen. Maybe write your name on the banknote if it will work. So yeah, the plastic money's a little bit tougher, but if it's a bit of paper or whatever, just say do a little mark so that you know it's your cash. So I've marked this 20. Let's do this down here so you can see. I've marked this £20 note with a little smiley face just up there in the corner, just so you can see. And you just ask them to mark it so that they know it's theirs. While they're doing that, they pass you back the pen. You put the lid back on the pen as you're talking to them. And then what I'm doing here is I've secretly got here the secret end hidden in my hand, just like this. Now, as they give the pen back to me, I put the lid back on the real end, and as I'm putting the lid back on the real end, I'm just connecting the pretend end to the bottom. And then once you take the cash back from them, you say, okay, now there is a sweet spot in £20 notes, right in the middle here. So at this point, you bring the £20 note in front of the pen. As you bring it in front of the pen so that it's blocking the view, that is your point in which you're going to grab it with the hand that's holding the cash, peel it off. You're going to keep the end hidden so that they don't notice that the end isn't really there. And you're going to re-grip with this hand here so that the pen is in the same position as it's going to be once you've stabbed it through. So you're going to hold it like that. But you hold it this way so the audience can't see that. You bring up the pen. You really try and make sure it looks like you're stabbing through. So really make that motion look real. At which point you've just connected it the other side and you can show people. At this point, this will probably horrify some people because they'll be shocked that you've just done that to a £20 note. But you tell them this is magical ink. It doesn't matter how much you try to tear it. It doesn't rip because it heals itself automatically, just like that. And at which point you do a little motion like this to almost act like you've just healed the money, and you then give that to them. And as you give that to them, they're taking that. You're secretly just taking off the end again and just mimic the motion of putting the lid back on. And then you can hand that back out and you keep hold of this sneaky part. This sneaky part needs to stay with you. You keep it in your hand and put it in your pocket at your earliest convenience. And that there is the pen. Now I'm going to do this one more time just so you can see. I'm going to do it straight on this way because I want to make sure that you see the motion. So you have your pen. You ask them to write then draw a picture on the money with the real pen. As they give you back the pen, you secretly add back on the pretend one, just like this. You take the cash back, show the pen, show the cash. The cash hides the end of the pen. Your hand then hides the end of the pen because it's not really there anymore. And then you stab through the cash, show them that it's through there, and then the rest is just presentation, making it look real. Give that back, give out the pen. And that there is the magical pen. It will take a little bit of getting used to. You need to spend a little bit of time getting used to those movements and making sure that you're hiding the secret part with your hand. And also when there's the secret part isn't on there, but you need to make it look like it is, you need to hide that end as well. Work on it, keep practicing it. If you have any issues, just drop me an email on Instagram or Facebook and I'll try and help you out. This here is my Instagram. No, it's not. That's my YouTube. But drop me a message on YouTube if you need to. And I do have an Instagram handle somewhere, but I'll add it post-production. Okay, let's get on to the next trick. So the next trick is a real crowd pleaser. So if you open back up your magic set, the last thing in here should be these pretend thumbs. Now, don't panic, they're not real thumbs. I haven't cut someone's thumbs off to add them in your magic set. But let's get them out of the plastic and I'll show you exactly what you've got here. Now, these here are well regarded in the magic world. What you need to do first things first is inside you're going to find these little plastic things here and this little slip of paper. If you pull out that paper, that will activate the battery in these thumbs. We put those in there just so that they don't run out of battery before they get to you. The battery should last a long time. So once you pulled those out, you're ready to rock and roll. So make sure that these are the round side, the curved side. If you have a look, there's a straight flat side and a curved side. You want to make sure the curved side goes in the bottom of the thumb. So there we go, round end goes in the bottom so that the fingernail is on top, just like that. Now, what you have here is a secret weapon. When you wear these on your thumbs, technically, as long as you don't draw any attention to them, No one is going to know that that's not your real fun because you'll be talking, you'll be moving around. I'll put both of these on and you won't even notice. So if I'm talking like this and I'm moving around and I'm pointing to things, you'll never notice. You wouldn't, unless I had kind of highlighted that these are on my hands, you're never going to have noticed that I have a pretend thumb on my hand. And that is purposely so that these are hidden in plain sight. Now you notice if you hold your hands, I mean if I hold my hands like that, no one's going to notice. That's pretty realistic, and you're not going to notice those. But if I hold them like this or too close to people, they might start to notice. But when you're moving around and you're just kind of being casual, no one will ever notice these fake fingers. Now what these do, if you pinch your finger and your thumb together, you get this little magical light. And if you do the other one with the other side, you also get a magical light. Now here's the deal. What these allow you to do is to have a little bit of fun with people in the public or your friends, family, because you can walk up to someone, pretend they've got something in their ear. You can pull this light out of their ear and you can pass it to your other hand. You can look at them funny and then eat it. Now, the fun thing about these are called D-lights. And you can take one from someone, you can pass it to someone else, they take it from you there, you say give it back, throw it back, they throw it back, you catch it just in time. You put it through your ear here and you can pull it out the other side here. You can pull it out your eye. You could do a lot more ruder stuff with these things, but I won't go into that now. But yeah, you can pass them between hands, between fingers. Do whatever you like with them. Now the idea with these is you don't want to use them for too long because it gets a little bit monotonous and a little bit boring if you're just constantly doing this all day and pulling things out of everywhere. But the beauty of these things is and the truth is I always have some of these in my bag because every now and again I'll be sat waiting in a queue or whatever at the airport or whatever, and I might see a little kid who's having a bad day or is stressed out or whatever. There's nothing cooler than just catching his attention, pulling a light out of his ear, eating it, and then just walking off. That will captivate that kid's imagination for the rest of his life, and his parents will be laughing because they would have thought it was hilarious. And so that's something I do quite often. Quite often if I'm wandering around, I always have these in my bag. If I ever see someone who's having a bad day, I won't even say anything. I'll just go over, pick it out of their ear, have a look at it, and then just walk off, and it'll make them laugh. Now, so the idea is don't overuse them, but it is sometimes fun to pass these around, put them between your ears and put them in your pocket and have fun with them. There's a great video on YouTube somewhere of a dentist doing this for a little child who's having his teeth out or something's happening with his teeth. But anyway, it's a great video of the kid in hysterical laughter with this dentist doing this trick. It's worth looking at. I'll leave a link in the description below of that video, so you've got to check it out. It's really, really quite heartwarming to see. Also, I do have lots of other magic tricks that I'm kind of producing at the minute that aren't ready while I'm making this video, but they might be ready now that you're watching it. So if you check out the links below, if there is anything else I've released, any more tricks or more boxes or card tutorials, I'm planning on releasing some card magic DVDs. Have a look in the link below because there'll be links to any of the new stuff going on down there. Also, I am always on tour. Every year I do a big UK tour and I do some shows abroad as well. So if you want to come and see my live show, I'll leave a link to my webpage down below as well, which will have all the links of the latest tour dates. I do have, at this moment in time, 2022 new dates are being announced very soon for September this year, going into March 2023. Make sure you're following me on social media, especially YouTube. Make sure you give me a subscribe and keep up to date. Let me know how you're getting on with these tricks. Let me know if you need any help. I'd love to hear your feedback on the tricks, and if there's any help you need, I'm always happy to help out. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for getting your magic set. I really hope you get out and perform some of these tricks, even if you just start on your family first or your friends at school or at work. Try out them on them first and then gradually try and perform more and more and more for more people, and it will build your confidence. Magic has been the best thing that I've ever done in life, mainly because it's allowed me to get to so many amazing places just because it started conversations with people, and I got away with a lot during my army career because I was a magician, because people were just interested in seeing magic tricks. So very often on an important day like the Queen's birthday, my uniform wouldn't get inspected as much because I knew I could show them a little bit of magic, and it would take up so much time that then they wouldn't have time to inspect my uniform properly before we went on parade. Probably shouldn't have told you that. One really quick final tip that I just suddenly thought of. If for whatever reason these thumbs don't match your skin colour very well, don't panic, just colour these in. So just get a Sharpie or any whatever colour you need, a bit of tanning powder, and just make these fit the colour of your hand. But you don't need to panic too much, because when you're using these, you'll be moving your hands around so much that people aren't necessarily going to notice or focus on your thumb anyway. But if you feel like you need to change the colour of it slightly, just feel free to give it a little paint, and that will make it hide amongst your hand even better. The other thing I wanted to say is, if you are getting on really well with the pen trick that's included, there is one other thing that I am going to start doing, and by the time you're watching this, it will be available in the links below this video. I have here a deluxe version. This here is a metal version of the trick, but the beauty of this one is there's only ever one tip to the pen, so it writes just the same way the other one does. But the beauty of this one is it has a special locking mechanism, which means when you push up like this, it unlocks this secret magnet there, so that the secret part of the trick is the same as the real part of the pen. So the beauty of this version of the trick means when I'm going to stab through the cash, you can tear it off just like this, restore the cash. And the beauty of this trick is you take the lid off, you put the lid back on the pen, and you can hand this straight out. It's the best version of this trick ever created, because that there is now locked into place, and they can really write with this and check it out, and there's nothing to hide. If you want this version, there'll be a link in the description below, or just drop me an email on the email link in the description, and let me know you want one, and we'll see what we can do. And if you wait one more minute, I'm going to play my trailer to my UK escape tour, just in case you want to come and see it. Here it is.
The winner of Britain's Got Talent 2016 is Richard Jones!
Still warm. There is one. Oh, joke.
Please read out the number on Marianne's card.
Please welcome the brilliant Lance Corporal Richard Jones.